Alright, in my last video I talked about a batch file that used a JSON JavaScript that used C script, which is built into Windows to create PDFs from Word files. So in this video, I went on to work on a Visual Studio console app that did a similar thing. So let's see. Let's walk through the steps of what I had to do, and I want to talk about a couple of things that were snags for me, but I figured it out and got it to work. So we'll start out. We'll create a we'll clone. No, we don't want to clone the repository. We want to create a new project. And I was trying to use an old version of .NET, and I kept running into issues just trying to create the project and make it work. And I don't know if it's tied to the version of Word that I have installed on my box, and it just detected what I had, and it's just tried to match the project to the version of Office that I had installed on my box. So the first thing that we want to do is we want a core. Maybe I have Core Console. That's probably how I started out. Let's do that. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to do this with C Sharp. And if you use Core, Core can target Linux, it can target Mac OS, Windows, it can target the cloud. Um, so this is pretty much a general, just hit anything type of application. So let's open this up. All right, so let's call this Word dash PDF or so place solution project in the same directory. I think I'm fine with that. I mean, what did I do to create a subdirectory? But all right, let's go to the next. Now, I have two options. Well, I have more than two options. I have several options. We have with this we had got to pick from .NET Core 2.1 up to .NET 7 standard term support. So I picked .NET 7.0 term support. So there was some history with this thing. I'm not going to configure this for HTTPS, and let's leave it .NET 7.0. Let's create. Let this machine crank a little bit and generate an application. All right. So now I'm in, and by the way, I'm using, if I go here, help, about Visual Studio. I'm using Visual Studio Enterprise 2022 because that's what my group, the department I'm working in here at the university, is moving to. So, so this is Visual Studio Enterprise 2022, and it's version 17.7.5 at the time of this recording. So the first thing I want to do, and you would probably want to do the same thing. Actually, you have to click on the project name, and it brings up a new menu. And go down, go to add, and I'm going to add a COM reference. And this is very important that you get this right. And this is the reason I'm going to this direction first, because when I open this up, I'm going to click in this box, Microsoft Word. All right. So the only thing I can select for Microsoft Word is Microsoft Word 16.6, which is important. So let's go ahead and select this and just say OK. All right. Now the next thing I want to do is, let's go to, no, let's go to Tools. You need to go to Tools, and then there's this NuGet Package Manager. Manage NuGet packages for solution. So Microsoft Office.interrupt Word is what I'm looking for. Not installed, nothing for this project. The solution is installed. So let's go browse. Oh, no, it's got to take a second. It's got to think about what I did. All right, and you have all these different projects, and when I first started working on this, the first thing I did, which was a mistake, is I clicked the very first option that come up in the list, Microsoft interrupt Word. And you would think, okay, that should work. But the thing is, if you notice, my reference I picked was for 16, and this is for Word 15. So the reference does not match. See, latest tables 15.0.4797.1004. That's version 15. So the reference does not jive with the packages that I'm installing. So I kept getting errors about Microsoft 15, and I was kind of puzzled. Excuse me. And I went to ChatGPT, and I asked it, I said, what does this error mean? Well, you need a reference, but I had a reference, but the reference that I have is for 16. And it took me a little bit of back and forth between ChatGPT and looking, trying to figure out how to change the reference to 15 to make it jive with the package. And then I was like, well, okay, I'm just going to wipe the whole project. I'm going to start new. And actually, it was after I had a talk with a coworker, a good friend of mine, Michael Liu, uh, who also has a YouTube channel out here. He's talking about all the different iterations of .NET that's been released, and he said, you might be better off just going to Core, the one of the latest ones. Go just create a project for the Core, because I just created a .NET project, a .NET console project, and he said your options are probably going to change as far as your release versus your packages, and well, okay, I did that. But what I did find out is, if you remember, the reference I just created was for 16, but look what this one is by CodeRush. MS Office Interopt for by CodeRush, and it's for the latest stable version. It's for version 6.0.55555. I'm glad it wasn't sixes. So, all right. So the key is your reference has to match the version level of the packages that you're pulling in for this to actually work. So, yes, let's let it make changes to the solution. And it finished, it was successful. All right, so now I have a program. All right, so, and this is just a simple little create a hello world program to start out with. So I think what I want to do now, all right, I'm going to take this code right here. This is the actual code that I used. Is this the right one? Creating task windows.form. I don't think so. So I'm in the wrong one. This was a previous iteration. This is the actual program. Because I battled back and forth about Chat GTP, I thought, well, maybe it was the program, and I kept asking it to, can you convert this to .NET 6.0, uh, the long support version? Um, can you convert this to .NET 7.0 short time support? And it's got my comments in here. So let's take all this code right here and replace it with this. So the first thing I had to do as you can see in my comment for number one. I'm going to put this on my GitHub if somebody wants this code. And I'm making this video just so you'll know how to create the project, because I could just put the whole project in on GitHub, but I'm afraid people's going to have issues because you won't know what to import and how to set up your references and stuff, and the references might not work in your environment, because my environment is going to be unique to my environment, and yours is going to be unique to you and how you got yours set up. So it's best just to start the project from scratch, and create your references, import the NuGet package, Microsoft Interopt, and then just have the code for this program. So, all right. So the first thing was we added a Microsoft Core solution. We added a NuGet from Microsoft Office Interop.word, and that's got to, well, first actually two, we did third. Actually, did three. We did three because this was after I figured it out. This is the order that I created it in. It actually needs three needs to be two, and two needs to be three. So, and I may change it before I upload it. So we added the reference, the following COM reference. You have to go add a COM reference for Microsoft Office 16, and then I added the Microsoft Office Interop Word, but I added the solution for version 16, so the reference and the version match. So let's save this. There's a couple of warnings. So let's do a build. And it succeeded right off the bat. And all this application is doing is looking for each is going to look for anything with the docx. It's also going to look for anything for a doc, and then it's going to go in and it's going to save it as a .pdf with the wd save .wd format pdf. And it should do this with, since I'm saying anything with asterisks on both of these, is everything in the directory should just work. All right, so let me go over here and get set up. Should have a binary. We got debug, .NET 7. Let's copy this over to my screen here. All right, and instead of running debug, I'm just going to run it from, yeah, I just need to run it from a command line. So, uh, in my previous video, if you want to look at my previous video with the bat file, I have my environment set to run from my default location. So when I run this, you could probably set the properties if you're going to put. I'm going to run a command line as administrator. The privileges. Screens want me to acknowledge that that's what I want to do. So let's go here. Let's go to D. All right, Visual Studio. I also try to do this under Visual Studio Code, and it's a lot of more work than I wanted to do. So that's not what I want. Word, PDF convert. Go to the bin folder. Go to the dot. No, yeah, debug. That's right. It's 7.0, and I'm not in Linux. I'm tempted to act like I'm in Linux, but I'm not. Okay, so you see the docx. This is my Word document. So let's go to Word. I want to run an executable. And it's going to run its magic. Just looking at the directory, looking for docx, doc. It's done. Dir. And now we have a PDF. The time is 3:30 p.m. and it's an exact copy of the docx. That's how simple it is. Like I said, the key to making this work is to have your reference match the package that you install. It's got to reference. If you're going to put a reference for Microsoft Office Word 16, version 16, then you need to have a package that's built for Microsoft Office Interact 16. So, just a quick, like I said, I'll put this code out on my GitHub site. I'm going to have the link to this code out in the description under the video. But this is a quick and dirty. This program, if you have 10, 15 Word documents, it's going to go through the whole list of the Word documents. It's going to create a PDF for each one. It will keep the original name, but it's going to create a new file with a PDF extension for each document. So that's all I have for you for today. I appreciate everybody that's supported my channel over the years, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. So everybody have a good day. I hope you're having a good week, and I hope the weekend coming up will be a good weekend for you. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.